Some call it betting, others call it a side hustle. But for millions of South Africans, it's survival with no real winners. In a country where jobs are scarce and hope is even harder to find, that's exactly where companies like Betway, Hollywoodbets, Supabets, and many others seem to thrive. They don't just show up, no. They saw an opportunity. Every day their names flood your screen, flashing questionable jackpots, big wins, and celebrities endorsing these gambling companies. For what? Financial gain? Maybe, maybe not. Behind the so-called Betway kings, selling dreams is a machine built to keep you hooked. And the most dangerous part, no one stopping it, not even the government. Why? Because they all benefit from this silent pandemic called gambling addiction. Folks, stick around because you're about to uncover the things these gambling companies never want the public to know. Stay tuned. These companies are not here to play, but to run business, and they are very good at doing so. That is proven by the numbers they are bringing in. Here we are not talking about millions, but billions of rands. Just in the 2023-2024 financial year, the gambling companies made a whopping 57 billion rands. That is more than the GDP of countries like Lesotho, Burundi, and Gambia they made in that year. And they do not have intentions to slow down anytime soon. Why?
More South Africans are turning to online sports betting as an additional source of income. The South African Responsible Gambling Foundation is warning against this rising prevalence. It's noted an increase in cases of gambling disorder involving online sports betting, with the poor and the working class mostly affected.
While South Africans are getting addicted to gambling, Supergroup, a company that owns Betway, went public on the New York Stock Exchange, signaling its ambition to expand even further, leveraging Betway's strong market to attract investors and grow. Since we know these betting companies are making billions of rands in South Africa, and with that kind of money, they can afford massive marketing strategies. That's why they partner with some of the country's most famous faces, like Du Plessis, Robert Marawa, Tiko Modise, Simphiwe Tshabalala, and many others. These are not just celebrities, they are national icons, people who have celebrated, admired, and grown up watching. For many, they are role models. So when these public figures promote a betting company, like it makes gambling look normal, it creates the illusion that betting is something safe, something trustworthy, simply because a familiar face is behind it. But what is the real motive behind these endorsements? According to the article on Tulify, talking about the influence of tipsters and celebrities in the world of sports betting cannot be understated. But here's the thing, the correct way should be overstated, because the influence these celebrities bring is huge and real. The article goes on to say, it is essential to understand that the endorsements these personalities offer is often motivated by financial gain. So they are not just endorsing these gambling companies because they feel like doing so. No, actually they are securing the bag by promoting them. I mean, they are paid significant amounts of money to promote specific betting websites. And this is not just a theory, it's happening right in front of us. Itumeleng Khune is one of the public figures who gets a share of the marketing budget to help promote one of the gambling companies he's endorsing. See how it is usually done.
My best bet for the week is Arrows versus Kaizer Chiefs. I'm going for Arrows straight win because they won in the previous game. If you like my selection, hit the link below to bet now.
We don't even know if he actually gambles, like the millions of South Africans who now rely on gambling as their source of income. That is why the article says it straight. Bettors must question the true intentions behind these endorsements and consider the veracity of the tips provided. Next time you see your favorite celebrity promoting a betting company, ask yourself, are they looking out for you, or are they just using their fame to secure the bag while you get deeper into gambling? I mean, will they still promote these brands if they saw the real damage gambling is causing to South Africans? That is the question they should answer, since they are the ones helping these companies make such large amounts of money. Can you talk about those massive payouts they share all over social media when they claim someone has won? How real are they? Can we trust them? Like, how do we know this is not just a PR stunt to make people believe they are next? I mean, with today's technology, where almost anything can be made to look real. And to be clear, we are not saying these companies are faking anything for sure. We are just saying maybe it's time we looked a little closer. We are simply questioning the credibility of what they are showing us. And here's why this matters. Because when you start digging deeper, you will discover what is actually buried. Reports have emerged that some sports betting companies are allegedly staging fake wins. Let's cross the border to Malawi. An investigation by the Investigator magazine tracked down 5 out of 7 mega winners of 30 million kwacha, that is the currency from Malawi, which is around 314,000 rands. And guess what? Some admitting have been employees of the companies they won from. Even worse, one small-scale businessman was paid 3 million kwacha, around 31,400 rands, to pretend he had won over 50 million kwacha, that is around 523,000 rands. Now tell me, how many of these big winners in South Africa are actually real? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The whole setup is made to make you feel like your big win is just around the corner. Just listen to what South African media personality Saul Penduka had to say.
The bookmakers are winning. That's why they're opening branches and there's a company popping up every day, because they're not in the business of making people rich, and that's what people don't get. They're not in the business of making people rich.
Because they make it look like you're gonna get some money.
No, that's how they lure people in. They won't. Ask a lot of guys who gamble. Like, they've lost more than they won.
And he's absolutely right. These companies are not doing a favor. They are making billions of people chasing hope. And to keep you coming back, they will use everything from questionable winners to famous faces. It's all part of making you believe that one more bet could change your life. But before you place your next bet, ask yourself this. What if you're not the one in control, but the one being controlled, programmed to chase the win even when the odds are not really in your favor? So the question is not, will I win? The real question is, how much are they making while you are chasing a dream they know you'll never catch? You might be trying to change your financial situation by playing this game called Aviator. But here's the thing.
Aviator game is a scam. Yes, the Aviator game is a scam.
This game isn't designed to make you money. It's built to generate millions, if not billions of rands for these gambling companies. And here's one of the reasons we say these gambling companies are only after your money. This article from Hollywoodbets says, play the Aviator demo for free here, practice your skills and work on a strategy before taking to the skies for real. But seriously, what skills and strategy are they talking about? These people are not taking us seriously, because the very same game they are pushing might be manipulated from the start. Here we are not just talking about the normal game, we are talking about complex systems, algorithms and robots that control how this game works. I mean, there's no amount of skill or strategy you can develop to beat the systems behind this Aviator game. This is a billion-rand industry for a reason, yet we are being told to practice our skills and work on our strategy. This is pure gambling, unlike sports betting where you can analyze the stats and try to predict what might happen next. Aviator doesn't offer any real opportunity for skill or strategy. Companies like Hollywoodbets want you to believe you can outsmart the system, but let us be honest, they are treating you like you don't know any better. Aviator is guesswork and it's costing people money they cannot afford to lose. Some are losing thousands of rands in just a matter of minutes, even seconds. My opinion is that this Aviator game generates more money for these companies than sports betting does. I'm sure you've come across those big wins gambling companies love to show off, like people winning millions from Aviator. But let's be honest, who's actually showing proof? No players, no screenshots, No testimonies, like nothing. Just the companies themselves doing the talking. Feels more like advertising. You could watch this game all day and never see someone cashing out millions. And remember, most people playing Aviator are not financially stable. I mean, if the game gives you 5,000 rands, the money you really need, do you think you will risk it all, chasing millions, knowing the plane can crash at any moment? I'm not going to say much about Aviator because it was never meant for people like us. It's built to keep the money flowing in one direction and it's not yours. Let's get one thing straight. Gambling addiction doesn't care if you're struggling financially or earning a salary. It doesn't just target the unemployed or the desperate. It has found a way to victimize those with pay slips as well. Even people with stable jobs are now falling into the same trap.
Someone will be going to work, but they're not being productive. They are on their cell phones. Gambling. So we are losing productive capacity as a country because people now, when it starts as a side hustle. But once you get addicted, it becomes the only thing that you get to do.
It's not just money on the line. It's your future, your peace of mind, and your well-being. Gambling doesn't care about your dreams, your responsibilities, or the people who depend on you. I mean, what starts as a quick win can quickly turn into a path of regret. It wastes your time, takes away your focus, leaves you feeling empty while chasing a prize that doesn't exist. You're not just gambling with money, you are gambling with your life. While doing my research, I came across something on Betway's homepage that immediately caught my attention. Betway encourages new users to register now. It's quick, easy, and painless. Yes, painless, like it sounds harmless until you see what it really costs. Because for thousands of South Africans, some drowning in debt, others hiding losses from their families, gambling is anything but painless. They never mentioned anything about gambling disorder or side effects. But before we can talk about the side effects, we first have to understand what gambling disorder actually is. So what is gambling disorder in simple terms? Gambling disorder, also known as gambling addiction, is when someone can't control their urge to gamble even when it causes serious harm in their life. To put it simply, they gamble too much, they can't stop, it affects their personal life and they keep chasing their losses, betting more to win back money but often losing even more. Sometimes it goes beyond just money. People get caught up in the hope of winning big, and that hope can lead to tough choices.
It was
So
not
you
an-
were now gambling with your savings?
I was now gambling. I lost my job.
How did you lose your job?
I quit.
What do you mean you quit?
The salary was just not doing it for me. I just felt like they were not giving me what I deserved.
And that feeling often comes after a few wins. She quit her job because she felt the salary was not enough. It's something many people can relate to, and there's something to learn from what she said. One of the most dangerous things right now is how people like Disnormal Boy are making gambling seem clever. I mean, throwing around stats and probabilities to trick you into thinking there's actually a smart way to win.
It's stats and probability. So doing a research about those two teams back in the history from the past 2 seasons or whatsoever, and then check what is more likely to happen. Is it more goals that can happen in this game or the past games? Was there more yellow cards? Was there more corners? Which one is stronger when, who is where, and whatsoever? That is how you start with the real analysis.
Now think about it. If it was really this easy to win, why doesn't he just make money quietly without making noise? Why charge people to join his betting group instead of making money himself? Is he really making money from Betway like he claims, or is it his followers who pay his bills? There's something that might prove this guy doesn't really make money from sports betting like he claims. Someone asked if anyone in his VIP group could share their testimony, and one person replied, "I'm in that group and I have to say it's the biggest scam I've ever joined." And this guy has been accused of being a Betway ambassador, but I will give it a pass for now since there's no proof. But we cannot ignore the fact that one of his marketing tricks is showing off his cars with Betway number plates, and that alone makes people think like, yeah, this guy must really know what he's doing. So when you see all these smart tricks and flashy lifestyle, remember the goal is not in gambling, it's getting you to believe in the dream they are selling. Disnormal Boy's influence is so strong that some of his followers have started talking about gambling like it's real business, like it's their career. Just listen to this guy.
I was like,
shout out
fuck.
to Disnormal Boy.
I was like, fuck. How the fuck? How is this me doing this thing?
Yeah.
To me, this thing, I don't take it as an in and out thing. It's not a money machine anymore. It's business. I take it as business. So, no matter how many losses I go through, I just remember, actually to me, it's not about how much I lost today. It's not about how much I'm going to lose tomorrow. It's about how much am I going to make in a week, in a month. A lot of people, they run away from this thing of what going through it. They want the easiest thing, right? The shortcut.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose to get something.
You see how deep this thing really goes. This guy is turning losses into life lessons like it's some motivational seminar. And what makes it funnier, it's inspired by someone with VIP groups. Now we know there's a gambling addiction in South Africa that is not going to stop anytime soon. So the question is, what is the South African government saying about this silent pandemic? Let's be honest, not much. And that silence is not by mistake. These betting companies make billions and some of that money goes to the government through taxes and levies. Just last year, the gambling industry contributed over 4.84 billion rands to government revenue, adding 0.1% to South Africa's GDP. So why will the government mess with something that brings in that kind of money? Gambling addiction is becoming a big problem in South Africa, and the sad part is the government is ignoring it. Even parties like Rise Mzansi have called it a national crisis. They've seen more and more people asking for help. These are real people getting hurt, while those in power say nothing. This really breaks my heart. They say the future of a country is in its young people. But how can you talk about the future when so many of them are getting trapped in addiction before life even starts for them? Let's be clear, these gambling companies are not forcing anyone to place bets. Everyone who gambles does so by choice. So if you choose to bet, do it wisely. Just know this, these companies are not in the business of making you rich. They are in the business of making billions of rands from your gambling habits. If you learn something new today, or you have started looking at the gambling industry from a different angle, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.